My natural hair journey had a lot of ups and downs. I started perming my hair at a very young age. I remember being 10 years old and I begged my mom to perm my hair because when she used to do my hair, let's just say she wasn't patient. And I know a lot of us can relate to that. My hair went through a lot. There was a lot of testing. I always went back and forth between texturizing my hair, doing the curl perm, to perming my hair because I couldn't find a happy medium. My hair was so thick that every time they would perm my hair, it basically wouldn't stay in that perm state. It would always go back to my original texture and it would look like I didn't do anything to my hair. The pain I went through, guys, with perming my hair on that scalp. My hair was just so thick and I was so insecure about my hair because I just felt like it didn't make me look beautiful. I come from a Caribbean family, so you know how that goes. They always had their opinions on my hair and I hated that because why couldn't you just embrace me the way? I always felt like I looked like a boy. And I remember being in elementary school. I put my hair up in one and I had a little bit of hair in that rubber band and someone went and pulled it out and it was so embarrassing and I kept on telling this kid, give me back my rubber band for my hair. It wasn't my favorite time. There was a lack of information out there for our parents and ourselves. My mom didn't even know how to do my hair because she always permed her hair. She had very long hair. It just didn't work well for me. It wasn't probably until my late teens, when I was about 15 years old or so, in 2008, where I started to explore going natural because I think that was the era where everyone was starting to really explore this and start embracing the hair. And everyone was very curious to see where it goes. And I saw one of my friends do it and it just seemed overall better. And to me, there was something deep inside of me that knew that that was the right decision. But there was a lot to sift through, from trying to figure out your natural hair to all the unwanted opinions. I remember doing a twist out and it was like people didn't have anything good to say. I would do a twist out and someone at church went out their way and was like, I can still see the part. And then again, their hair was a mess. But that's against the point. I remember feeling so insecure about it because every time I did my hair, it wasn't good enough. It wasn't perfect. It didn't look like the other girls. And it just added on to me feeling not beautiful. I just wish more people would encourage people with their hair instead of bringing them down. Unless you're going to help, don't say anything at all. Because it's like you think we don't know how we feel about our hair. You think if the person's trying that we don't know that our hair is not perfect. The wash and go started to get popular and I tried it and let's just say it wasn't working. I was trying to get my curls to look like someone else and I think that's where I was going wrong. I was trying to look like someone else. That never works. And I was trying to get my curls to look like how other naturals looked when they did curls. It wasn't until I came across the hydration method and it was a blog at a time and I think I did it for a good 3 to 5 days and it was with black soap and then putting the gel in the shower and you would do this every day. And that was the first time I got to see my curls and that was the beginning of my journey of seeing the potential of my hair. After that, it was a lot of ups and downs. I went through many years of doing the wash and goes, twist outs, and just trying to navigate to see different styles and looking at YouTube, lots of YouTube. And there was a time where I was getting into a routine and I had a really good stylist, okay? And I was going to her every 3 months to do my trim in a silk press. And it was a point that my hair was getting down to my back. And then she went on maternity leave. And you guessed it, she didn't come back. There was times I would beg for her to come back because there was no one like her. So after that, I lost it because I still didn't know how to take care of my hair. I think I was doing a pretty good job if I was going every 3 months, but I don't think there was still a full understanding of what I was doing and what I was not doing. I went some time without a stylist. It wasn't until probably 2020 where I got determined one day and I started calling around and I found a stylist. She was actually a white stylist and she did my hair and it was awesome, but she just took very long because I'm guessing she didn't do a lot of hair like mine, so it took like over 4 hours. I didn't go back to her, but I still went through many years of my hair going from short to long and then long to short And it never really was progressing. It was always staying at the same length, and it was very frustrating. What didn't help is there's times where I would just get really down, or I would go through a period of depression, or just financial stress. So I couldn't get to a stylist. So then by the time I would get my money up again, they would have to trim a good amount of hair. It would get shorter because I'd wait too long, and I would suffer. So get your trims done, by the way. If you're taking care of your hair properly, you shouldn't have to get a lot of trims. More than 2 times a year if you're really taking care of your ends and you're doing proper protective styles. And I'm not talking about braids and extensions. I'm talking about doing protective styles with your own hair. In 2019, I ended up in the hospital. And the part that they don't tell you is when they put anesthesia in you, I realized that one of the side effects was your hair falling out. And I remember calling mom. I was so angry. And I was like, if I knew this, I wouldn't have gone through it. And she was like, stop being silly. You need to get better. And I was down because I was so attached to my hair. And I was like, my God, all this effort. And my hair just falling out. People started telling me, oh, your hair looks shorter. It looks shorter. And I hated that. I started looking for treatments during that period to stop shedding. I started using the Main Choice from the Gold line. And that helped my hair a lot. And then I came across 22nd Century Woman. She used to be a YouTuber where they call her Black Rapunzel, and she had super long hair, and she started making these natural products, and I started using her stew, and it was basically like, think of it like a henna treatment with apple cider vinegar in it, and that thing saved my hair. It saved my life and brought my hair to life. And to this day, I recommend everyone to use this product. I still buy that product just because it saved me in a very difficult time. And so I started refining my routine more, and I would do a shampoo and conditioner and then use a treatment and then use a gel for a wash and go. And sometimes I would do twist outs, but the majority of the time I was sticking to that routine and my hair was sore. So it wasn't until 2023 where I went to a hairstylist that I've been going for a while. And one of the things he told me was he noticed that my hair was a bit dry. And he was like, have you tried a deep conditioner? And I told him I used to use it a while back and then I stopped. And then he told me, no, you need to be doing it every time you wash your hair, which was about once a week. And I think that was the first time I got to understand what it was for, because he explained to me the properties of it. He explained that when you use a deep conditioner, it helps to keep your hair moisturized and it'll help you to retain more length. Because I think when my hair was shedding, I used those treatments, but I didn't truly understand what it was doing. But all I knew is that it obviously worked, but I never had someone actually explain it. It was actually because of him where I started that journey of looking into these deep conditioners and truly understanding what it meant. He recommended the Allsoft Redken treatment. That was the journey of me really trying to take care of my hair. I believe that was the start of my journey of learning to treat my hair on a weekly basis to get it back to health. And then I went back 3 months later in July 2023. And when he saw my hair, he was like, yeah, your hair feels way more moisturized and it doesn't feel as dry. So I continued to do the wash and goes and so forth. And my hair continued to grow. In May 2024, I went for my regular trim at the same salon. And I was telling her, sometimes like I get insecure with my wash and goes because my curls are not looking the same. So when I would go to her, she would usually just do a silk press and trim. And then she said something that totally changed the game for me. Have you ever thought of going to an actual curly stylist? And I remember looking at crazy because I was like, isn't that what I'm doing here? I'm going to someone that does natural hair. And this is the first time I think I got schooled where she was like, no, like getting a curly cut where your hair is shaped is way different than doing a silk press and trimming your hair. See, I had no idea, guys, that there was a difference. Like, it just never connected for me. And she was like, if you go to a stylist that specifically does curly hair, they'll be able to better shape your hair in a way that will make you happy, because doing straight cuts is way different than a curly cut, so in its natural state. So that's when the light bulbs went off. So little did I know, and this is crazy how like God works, is a month later, Shea Moisture had a pop-up And I decided to book an appointment real quick. And that was the first time I got to be in an environment where I got to talk about to other women with natural curly hair, where we're all on the same journey. And it was the first time where I got to experience going to a stylist who actually did natural hair, meaning they didn't have to straighten your hair. They would just cornrow your hair in its natural state. I thought that was bad. I was blown away. I didn't have to put heat on my hair, and they did like a coily style. So they basically did a coily look. And what I loved about that experience is I got to see how she was doing it. That's where my actual journey started of my hair starting to soar, because I got to see, oh, I could do other things with my hair in a natural state. So then a month later, I went to the exact same salon that was a part of the Shea Moisture pop-up. I got a really good stylist. Her name was Sharon, and she did a really nice curly cut. Man, she just took the scissors and went all over my hair, and I got such a beautiful curly cut. Now, it was a little bit shorter, but she did it in a way that the front was falling over, the back was a little bit shorter. One day, I just went on a rabbit hole. So if you guys know me, I love doing research. I started looking into the coily hairstyles, seeing how people did their own coily hair. YouTube started recommending videos, and I came across the goodies, the people who were talking about real natural hair. I didn't know that was a thing on YouTube. Like, I know there was natural hair YouTubers. There's these YouTubers who actually grew out their natural hair, and they just educate you on it. And I love that. It wasn't just like product reviews. And so I came across Coily Diaries. And this was a whole new world, because these were women with very long hair sharing how it's possible for Black women. And I don't think I ever dreamed to have long hair. I just kind of took my hair where it was for what it was. It opened my mind. She did a specific video where it caught my eye, and it was a video around how to grow your hair really long with low manipulation hairstyles. And this video talked about basically corn rolling your hair 4 times a year, and then you would in the meantime put like glueless wigs on top or put wraps. And that got my mind going. Is it really that easy to grow your hair? And she was saying, like, within 4 years, your hair would be down your back if you did this. And so that's when I started to learn about low manipulation styles, and learning more about how some of these protective styles, quote unquote, that are crochet, braid extensions, sometimes doesn't help your hair retain length. I know it works for some people. And I found out that, like, when you add hair, it can actually thin out your hair. It can break your hair. I found out that 2 of the most low manipulation styles recommended was natural braids and mini twists or cornrows. So I decided to do mini twists, and I fell in love. What I love about doing mini twists, it's very low maintenance. I discovered, so I only needed a leave-in spray conditioner, cream lotion of some sort, braid spray, and water. And that's it. And my hair stays moisturized. First time I took my hair out in mini twist, I could already see that my hair was fuller, and I could see that there was length. And the second time I did the mini twist, I already noticed that my hair was already longer, because I would usually do these bangs with the mini twist because my hair was so short, and it was starting to actually hit my eyes. So whenever someone asks is, what should a type 4 hair typical routine be? It should be a shampoo, a rinse out conditioner, and that's optional. You have to do what's best for your hair. So you can either use a deep conditioner, or you can use a rinse out conditioner, or if you have a really good leave-in conditioner, you can literally just shampoo your hair and do a leave-in conditioner. There's so many ways to do it. And then I also added a dandruff shampoo, because during that time I had seborrheic dermatitis, which just means a lot of dandruff and you start to get dry scalp. And I went to a dermatologist, and I went through this routine with her. And so what I discovered during that time, if I put black castor oil or any type of detangler or conditioner before you shampoo with the dandruff shampoo, your hair will feel like $1,000,000. It won't be drying at all. And the oil has a lot of properties when you're doing a rinse out oil treatment, because it can strengthen the hair and make the hair grow. So I would keep it in for 30 to 40 minutes. And it's not required. You can keep it for 10 minutes if you wanted to. That changed the game in my hair. It literally reset my hair, and it no longer has that dry feeling. Doing mini twists, it really taught me to use less product. It made me realize like I don't have to buy all these stuff. I don't have to keep on trying all these new things. Less is more. And I forgot to mention, Shea Moisture gave me so much hair products. And I fell in love with their silicone leave-in conditioner. And it's like a spray-on cream spray. And I loved its versatility. It made it so easy to detangle my hair, especially when taking out mini twists. I love being versatile and using headbands and using accessories in my hair, and I could put it up or I could keep it down. What I discovered is the longer you have twists, the sweeter it looks. So by the third week of having twists, I was getting even more compliments by people. And there's a hack that most people don't talk about is if your twist is starting to look a little messy, all you need to do is wet your hair, shampoo it, and it looks like new. It's crazy, but there's something about it. And then the hair looks good all over again. So I thought I would just share my journey and a little bit of my routine. I just wanted to share how I became in love with my hair. And I'm here to give you the hope that you've been looking for. If you're struggling with your type 4 hair, my piece of advice is to be patient with yourself and your hair. Embracing natural hair is a journey. It's not something that changes overnight. It took me years to understand what my hair needs. And there were many ups and downs along the way. But there will come a time when you'll figure it out, and that's why I was sharing you a little bit of my routine. Start by learning what works best for your hair. You can't learn about your hair if it's always being hidden. The only way to learn how to manage your hair and do your hair is to actually do your hair. It's okay to protect it, but you should not be protecting your hair because you don't know how to deal with it. If you don't know how to deal with it, you need to have your hair out, meaning it needs to be out in a way that you're able to practice and see what works and doesn't work. If you have to, I sometimes tell people go to a stylist. Find a really good, trustworthy stylist and start going to them. Don't suffer in silence. If your hair is breaking or thinning or you're noticing that it's not retaining length, it's your sign that your hair needs some TLC. Remember, everyone's journey is different, so don't compare your hair or progress to anyone else's. If you know anything about our hair is so mixed up with different textures because you could be like a looser curl in the front and tighter curls in the back and so forth. I can have the same type of hair as you and use a product that loves my hair, but it doesn't love your hair. Give yourself grace. Your hair doesn't have to look perfect or like anyone else's for it to be beautiful. Not everyone has to love it, and that's okay. You're going to get people who compliment your hair when it's straight, and that drives me crazy because it'll be the same people who don't compliment your hair in its natural state. But anyways, and you just have to brush it off because that's the society that we live in. People worship straight hair. That's the reality. People love the European look. You have to know within you that your hair is beautiful and your hair is a beautiful crown. Learning your hair takes time, but once you do, it's so worth it. I'm now on my mini twist journey where I'm going to probably do this until my birthday of June 2025 and see where it's at and possibly continue to do it forever and sometimes let it out. I do sometimes take it out a little early before my next appointment so I can deep condition, do a wash and go because I love playing with my hair. So I would say that's my downfall, and you can't play with it as much as you want to. The women that took the time to share their natural hair journey gave me a sense of hope. It showed me what's possible. And this is why you need to be sharing your journey. This is why I'm sharing mine, even though it's not perfect yet. I had a little bit of reservations about sharing about my hair because it was short and I went through a lot of imperfect periods. But I want to share my journey to encourage you guys, someone who needs encouragement, to show you that it doesn't always stay like that where you can't figure it out. There comes a point where you start to figure out what your hair likes and what it doesn't like. And I would love to continue to periodically share my journey with my hair and where it's at. And if you guys want more of that, definitely leave it in the comments so I know there's interest.